in terms of bureaucracy, of course, the word itself sounds very political and appeals to many people, because many people do agree with this point, that there are a lot of people who consume a lot of resources and consume a lot of money from the so-called government of the university in this case, but actually do fewer job than they could have done for that amount of money. And
Exactly.
cutting that probably would be good idea, although it can be argued to which extent do we cut this in order not to hurt the general capabilities of university to function well.
Yeah. I mean, so right now we have 70 full-time staff, probably more as well, but this is according to the 2022-2023 end of year reports from our KCLSU. And they reported that we have 70 full-time staff spread across the different campuses. But what does KCLSU actually do? We try to write them emails. They don't ever respond to any of the emails. We try to contact their help desks, their services. It's never responded back. And our thought is, we don't need all these full-time staff. For example, our students are looking for part-time job. So a lot of the restaurants and cafes on campus are run by KCLSU. They're not run by full-time staff. They're run by our students. Our students are
It's true.
yeah. Our students are serving everything. And the thing is, our students don't even demand that much money. They're just working part-time, and some of them just enjoy it as well. And our thought is, a lot of these jobs can be done by students. We don't need outsiders to come in and do these jobs. Like, you go to the KCLSU offices, there's just so many people just behind desks. Like, what they're actually doing. Sometimes I go to the offices just to have a look, and literally once I just saw someone just play on their computer. So the back is behind the door. I just look through the door and just play a game. And I was thinking, yeah, this is a very, very good use of our funding that we could have sent to our societies, and that we could have sent to our students. But that's the first thing. We want to cut down the staff, if possible, if they will allow us. But number two, even if they don't allow us, a really easy thing that we can do is we can cut down the office spaces of KCLSU. Because right now, our offices for the student union, most of them are empty most of the time. People don't ever use it. They're just there just for the sake of being there. Like, I'm not talking about the meadow or any of the student study spaces. I'm talking exclusively for the staff offices. These staff offices are empty most of the time anyways. We want to encourage our staff to just work from home, because ever since the pandemic, we've had this two-way learning where we do a lot of online learning, we do a lot of in-person large group tutorials. And we kind of want to have a similar thing for our staff. We'll just tell the staff, like, you can just work from home. We don't need all these offices. We'll cut down the office space. Because according to the 2023 annual report, KCLSU spent £3 million hiring venues, hiring office spaces from KCL. And this is prime real estate. We don't need to spend that much money. We can pretty much half the amount of offices that we have, and KCLSU will still function. We can hire our part-time students as staff, and even if the students don't want to work, we can just hire part-time people. And the thing is, a lot of the work that they're actually doing, it can be automated very easily. So, for example, some of the venue hiring, they're doing it on a spreadsheet. We can do it with a bot easily. You don't need two people trying to just sort out all the venues on a spreadsheet. Every time we go in, we're trying to hire a venue, and they'll be like, wait a second, let me look at my spreadsheet, and then they just go look around, and then 10 minutes later they're like, oh yeah, you have availability. Wait, we can get this room, or we can't get this room. And the thing is, all of this is just absolute waste. But because KCLSU is a charity, people don't usually look into it, because charities aren't actually meant to make money anyways. Whereas if it was a company, like, the CEO of the company would just look out and be like, hold on, why are we spending? Why are we wasting so much money? And so going back to your question, I think it's very easy to cut down a lot of the spending, and we could take the spending and give it directly back to the students, because we truly believe that the money from the KCLSU belongs to the students, because it's money that's raised for the students, it's money that's been raised in grants towards the students, so it ought to be paid back to the students.
So the goal of these reforms would be to save some of the money, create jobs which would come. I can see how it will come together automatically. And where do you plan those money to direct after you have saved them? Are there resources or some services that university needs funding in?
So there's some massive projects that we want to do. So one of the big projects that we have in mind is we want to have a shuttle bus system to connect our 5 campuses together. Because right now, King's College London, we have campuses in Strand, we have campuses at Guy's Hospital, we have campuses at Waterloo, St. Thomas.
Yes,
That's it's literally scattered all around London. If you want to go from one campus to another, the tube doesn't directly take you there. You have to go around the river. You have to direct different tubes, and then you can do a lot of walking. We want to follow the
how long is it? The
Boston. So for example, going from Strand to Guy's campus, if you walk it, it's like 15 minutes, you can walk it. Go by tube, it's 30 minutes, which is not that much better. But then you have to take the Northern Line, you have to take the District Line,
yeah.
and then
And you have to pay for
you
it.
have to pay for that as well. It's like £3 a pop to go one side, and then if you will come back, £6 already. If you make 2 trips of that, it's already £10, and that's insanity because I don't even want to talk about TFL at this moment, but like the cost of living crisis in London is kind of insane. But we can make that cheaper. We can subsidize it. So there's university like Imperial College London, University of East London, University of West London, Roehampton. They already have this shuttle bus system because they have scattered campuses as well, and they just pay an external company to come in, and every so often during the day just have these buses go from one campus to another, and it's very easily done. You just have to show your student ID card, and then maybe you pay some money to subsidize to go with the subsidies. But we can easily do that. But in order to do this, we need the extra funding. And some other things is a lot of the PhD students, they want dissertation spaces, they want microwaves, they want dishwashers, they want the infrastructure required in order for them to do research. And all that is going to require money. For informatics students, for us, people who are just dwelling in the labs, we want GPUs, we want better computers, because right now we have the AI revolution. Like even our government is talking about trying to invest more money into AI, and the only way you can actually invest money into AI is by having proper RTX GPUs, graphics processing units. Our lab computers do not have GPUs. The most we have is every single lab room we have. So every other computer we have is an i7 Intel, and we only have one i9 Intel computer that is usually hogged by everyone else. For those that don't know, i9 computers, it's a good CPU, but in order to do AI, you would kind of want to have an NVIDIA general processing unit in order to do the parallelism. We're gonna want to improve the labs. We're gonna want to improve the engineering quads to just make sure they open for longer as well. And in order for that to happen, well, you need to pay money for security to stay there, right? So all of these things, both in the student union and in the university, we need money. And honestly, it has to come from somewhere. And I think the best way that can come is from cutting the cost of the student union.